So another question that I have from them. So you got to remember when we start the process. So from day one to the time that the appraisal is ordered, I mean, you could have 15 days, you can have 20 days, you could be sitting at about 25 days. So Jim, talk about that in an aspect of the market is changing.
So when you sit down with your realtor, most of the time, and they do a competitive market analysis or whatever you might call it in your office, a CMA. The realtor will base it on listings and sales in the area. Now, again, if you go by the hypothetical timeline that we went before, 4 to 6 weeks later, I might be showing up. Well, in most areas that I cover, there are going to be sales that happen in that time, in that 4 to 6 weeks. Some might be good for you and some might not be good for you. I am tasked with using the best, what I consider the best comparable sales. And the best usually is indicated by most recent, most like your house, location, location, location. So in a perfect world, the comparables would be within a mile. They would have sold within the past 90 to 180 days. And within 10% of the size, within a couple of years, I usually go 5 years front and back. Sometimes you have to extend it a little bit longer. And then you have to consider condition. So there's all these different considerations that go into the comparable sales that are chosen. So Chanel may have chosen these comparables in her CMA, but the things may have changed. And one thing that realtors do, and I understand why, is they base you tell me.
Yeah.
You tell me, sometimes you decide what the purchase price of the house is based on listings. However, I have to use sales. I have to use something that has happened. So those are some of the things that you have to take into consideration. The difference in time between the CMA and the appraisal, and things change, especially in our market. It changes very quickly.
So I think, Jim, you said something really important that a lot of buyers, sellers, even realtors may not think about. The market is constantly changing. So again, remember, it could be a 20 to 25 to 15 days until you guys get the appraisal ordered. So you have to remember, if there's a house that is close in proximity to yours and they're very comparable to your home and it's sold before your appraiser comes to your door and you get that appraisal back, I mean, it could change. So you got to keep that in mind as far as knowing that the market is constantly changing. So as a realtor, I would maybe do another comparative market analysis just to see where you're sitting. And a lot of times when you're on the seller side, you might be visiting or doing your listing presentation before you even get that on the market. And then the time frame in between that could even be longer. So I guess it's something to keep in mind, when you are working, especially on the seller side, when you're representing the seller, to just let them know that. And as a buyer's agent, again, it's something to reiterate with your buyer as well too. Stay tuned for part 3.